Well, in the final of the sack race, it was Julen Lopetegui who probably sealed his future until at least the new year. And Erik Ten Hag, I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone by the time I finish editing and uploading this video, quite frankly. I thought this was going to be a very crucial game. Somebody asked in the build-up to the game on the preview what I thought the future held for both managers. I said if Erik Ten Hag loses, then I think he'll be gone. I said if Lopetegui loses, I think he'd have to lose against Nottingham Forest and then not win against Everton for him to go. So I think Lopetegui was on safer ground. But anyway, well, West Ham won, and I'd be lying to say that we won well. We didn't. It was two pretty poor teams today, it had to be said. But I just think, in the end, I think, well, West Ham had the better team spirit and a bit of luck on our side. It's really weird, actually, because there's a contradiction there, isn't there? I don't think we're a team. We don't look like a team. We don't play like a team. But there's clearly team spirit. There's clearly a number of players who get on with one another, and I think that was, massively demonstrated by Crysencio Summerville running over to Mohamed Kudus, with obviously the story being that I guess people were expecting Summerville to start, but he didn't start. But you very much see Summerville was Kudus's understudy. So it was the apprentice running up to the master and saying, "There you go, mate. Sort of done it for you." I thought it was a nice touch, and I did like the way that that Kudus had sort of come down and walked off the bench to sort of greet him, and they had a hug and a celebration. Absolutely brilliant. I think that was nice to see. So I think, you certainly read stories that all is not well behind the scenes and it's a miserable place. I don't think that's the case, and I don't think it's certainly not demonstrated when you look at the footage from behind the scenes at the training ground. But for this game, it was weird. I think possibly you could make numerous nuanced differences between this and the Tottenham game, but I think on both occasions, Julen Lopetegui thought he'd keep it tight in the first half and try and win it in the second. It worked today. We needed a huge dollop of luck. It didn't work against Tottenham. But and I know Tottenham lost today, but Tottenham are a far better team, by the way, than Manchester United. They really are. They're a bottom half team. It has to be said. I think we are as well, if I'm being totally honest on this. Actually, before I go any further, send in your fan cams. We want to hear what you guys think about the game today. It doesn't even have to be the game today. It could be Julen Lopetegui. It could be Crysencio Summerville. It could be him not starting. It could be any number of things. Just make sure, though, please, don't put it in portrait mode. Put your phone in landscape mode. So it's basically this shape. Record yourself on your phone, and then there's a link in the description below, basically an email address where you can transfer it over to Dropbox, WeTransfer, something like that. Send it over there, and we will publish it on one of our two channels. That's the least we can do, so we'd certainly like to hear from you. What can I say? The reason I'm not thrilled. I'm pleased with the points, but they haven't masked over what was a lot of flaws and a lot of inadequacies in our team. And I didn't get overly angry when we lost to Tottenham, and I'm not getting overly pleased now. And it's not because I like to temper my excitement. Far from it. I do sort of see a lot of the same problems there. I see individual performances. I said it against Tottenham. There were some individual performances which I thought were quite good. But I thought the game got away from him really quickly. Lopetegui, whilst he was waiting to do his substitutions. He basically had a manager in Postecoglou who outthought him at half-time. That didn't happen today. He was the equal of Ten Hag. And I thought we had a bit of luck. And I thought we contributed to our own undoing, really, by scoring a goal from Summerville, and then the way we sat back. We sat back and invited them upon us. There are too many similarities between Lopetegui and David Moyes for me to sit here and be very, very confident that this is going to be a springboard for us to go forward and do better. I think we'll finish somewhere between 15th and 10th, somewhere between there. If we finish 13th, 12th, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think we'll always pick up victories, but I can't see any consistent pattern of play that would give me confidence that things would get progressively better as we got forward. Maybe if we got a very good centre forward and an athletic midfielder, possibly things might change. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's quite happy with what he's got. It's funny, isn't it? it's because I'm sort of pleased, but then I'm sort of frustrated. I'm frustrated that he gets his starting lineup strong, but I'm also pleased that he deals with it quite quickly, that he's not afraid to make lots of substitutions. So I think from that aspect, it's probably that aspect is an improvement on David Moyes. But by and large, I'm not seeing an awful lot of difference, actually. I think probably the last 12 months, because West Ham started the season pretty well last season under Moyes. I think from November onwards, we were really poor. So November to now, I've not seen a lot of difference between the two managers, truth be known. And we got really, really lucky. Really lucky. Or maybe there wasn't that much luck in the equaliser. I really liked Tadebo's involvement in it has to be said. I thought the way him and Wan-Bissaka, I thought again looked impressive today. I thought the way that they swapped positions and then he sort of carried on going. Then it went to Bowen, and obviously it was a missed kick from Danny Ings, who had a role in both goals. We'll get to the other one in just a minute. And then Summerville, I thought you followed that up really, really well. Summerville will have every reason to wonder why he didn't start. I wish he'd have started. I thought he looked really sharp. I think he looks really good. But I have to separate whether I want him to start with, do I understand why Lopetegui didn't? Yeah, because I think Lopetegui's trying to keep it tight in the first half. The difference between him and David Moyes, yes, people often say, why you keep mentioning David Moyes? Well, he used to be our manager, and I just think there's comparisons there. So I think David Moyes used to try and keep it tight and win it after 65 minutes. I've got a feeling, from what I've seen so far, Lopetegui wants to keep it tight and win it after 45 minutes. So I guess there is some semblance of change there. I thought the substitutions were good. I thought Tadebo, Mavropanos may have been injured, not entirely sure on that. Tadebo, Souček and Summerville all improved the team. And that's great. And I think had we'd have carried on after we'd scored in that sort of, with that forward momentum, we may well have won that game 2-0. But we sat back, and some people saying, it's still inbred and ingrained from Moyes and he can't train it out of him. I'm not sure that's the case. I'm not sure he particularly wants to. I think it's the way he is. I think he's a pragmatic manager. That's why I sort of pushed against the suggestion that maybe Mourinho could take over. Honestly, it's hard watching us get a little bit of a sliver and a little glimmer of success in a game and then just sit back and invite an opposition upon us, particularly a wounded animal like Manchester United. It's really hard to... It's not hard to describe how bad they are, but it's sort of, I think, bearing in mind they are Manchester United, but bearing in mind what a big team and traditionally big club. I spent a lot of my life watching a very successful Manchester United. It's hard to witness how much they have fallen. And they really have. And I think you don't need to give a team like that any encouragement because their confidence is absolutely battered. We possibly should have pressed on and got a second goal. Anyway, we didn't. We won the game. That's good, but we allowed them back into it, and I thought it was a poor goal to concede, which I felt was a little bit of a shame because by and large, I thought. I guess, like a lot of people, I thought we were on our way to a clean sheet in that game. Not that we deserved it. They hit the bar twice, missed an absolute sitter, and we didn't look, we didn't look great at the back, but I thought there were some decent individual performances, and I thought Kilman... I've not read the stats. I'm sure when I read the stats tomorrow, you'll see that Kilman's done a lot of blocks, a lot of interceptions, a lot of clearances, headers, that type of thing. It felt to me like Kilman had a big game. The penalty, we were really lucky. I would not have liked to have seen that given against us. I really wouldn't. I thought it was a Danny Ings handball. I really did. But I don't have massive amounts of sympathy. Well, actually, I say handball. I thought nothing would be given. I thought it was nothing. I was actually, surprised to see anything like that. And I actually, I do wonder, having watched it back, if that was one of the situations where the referee goes and looks at the VAR screen and says, nah, actually, do you know what? I'm going to stick with my original decision there. Maybe that was home advantage. I often say we don't have a massive home advantage because of the distance to the pitch. Maybe we did. Maybe that was it. I guess it's slightly different, isn't it? Because when you've got to go and look at a screen as a referee, even if you're at the London Stadium with the big gaps between the lower tier and the pitch side, you still got to get quite close to the fans, haven't you? So maybe that didn't. Maybe that did help us and that did assist us a little bit. If it seems like I'm not cock a hoop, I'm not. I don't think it's brilliant. I didn't think it's the end of the world against Tottenham either. I could pick out some individual players who played well, but I could do that against Tottenham as well. I think I'm just not seeing enough to give me confidence. I'd love to. I thought we'd win this. I thought we'd win this game, but not like this. It has to be said. I didn't foresee that. I just think it's a winnable game. I may change my tune if we go forward and we can go and beat Nottingham Forest and then we beat Everton and we string 3 wins together. I'll say okay. I will reassess. And I always did say I would, probably start to make my judgment, whatever, end of October, start of November, and that's sort of now, really. And he's made himself safe because you look at the poorer teams in the league, and there will be 3 teams that finish lower than us. But it ain't great, and it's not convincing. But it is good to get a win against Manchester United. It really is. It really is. But that was a lot of luck. But I see that pants. A weird game. Just a weird game. I think we play 104 minutes. I think we did play 104 minutes. I mean, it felt like it was never going to end. Yes, I mean, look, well done, Bowen. He's been getting his crosses over well. I guess well done, Danny Ings, for being involved in both goals. You've got to be in there. And look, both were clumsy. His shot was clumsy. I guess we were lucky it ran through to Summerville, but he showed real skill and finished it well. And he was lucky. Ings was lucky with a penalty. It really was. But we were lucky, but I don't feel that Manchester United should bemoan their own luck. I've not heard what Ten Hag has said, but I heard Ten Hag in the build-up to this game when he was asked why Manchester United was struggling. And I think Ten Hag said, it's because of injuries. It's not. It's because they're crap. And I'm pretty sure that he'll look at, he'll think that whoever, I can't remember who went through. Was it Dallo? I think it possibly was. I think it was Garnacho hit the bar. I think it's actually maybe Mavropanos headed against our bar. I'm not sure. I'm sure he'll look at that and say we had chances to win the game, and he'll look and he'll say an unfair penalty, and he'll say that's why we lost the game. It's not. They're crap, and we're pretty poor as well. And that was just what happened. It was 2 poor teams playing out against each other. I do actually think, though, I must say, I think had we had Kudus, I think we would have won more comfortably. So I mean, that's a good thing as well. To be without one of your best players who was in form and then still win the game, I think is good. Fabianski, of course, made a world-class save as well, which is good. I mean, that was an interesting one. Areola being dropped for Fabianski. I do sort of agree. I think that the trouble is for me, maybe it's a video for another day. I think as I look at it now, there's still big things to do in the transfer window, and that shouldn't be the case after the amount of money that we spent. The midfield still doesn't look right. It really doesn't. Goalkeeper still doesn't look right. And we've got a striker problem. We do. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. Just let me know what you think in the comments below. More importantly, let me know. Send in your fan cams. The link is in the description below. There's an email for you to send your fan cams to. I'm going to get this edited up, wrapped up now, and then possibly, if I'm lucky, catch the second half of the Liverpool and Arsenal game. I don't even know what the score is now. I'm going to have a look. Do you know what? We'll do it. Let's do it live. We'll do it live, and then you'll know what. Let's have a look. Don't you know what time I'm doing it? Oh, it's 1-1. 1-1 after 33 minutes. Right, there you go. Let's see how quickly I can get this video wrapped up and published.